Hello and welcome back to my channel. We are in our next stewardship challenge video, and today we are going to be building one of my favorite tofu bowls that I like to get at a local restaurant here in my area. It's called the ChopShop, and it is a green curry tofu bowl, and it comes with jasmine rice, and it comes with, the way I make mine is I get tofu and then I add in some roasted vegetables, and this is how the roasted vegetables are usually looking there. I actually need to throw some onions on here, and once I put the onions in here, I'm going to throw them in the oven and let them just roast. This is just a California blend, they call it. I picked it up at Whole Foods. I'm sure you can get it at another local grocery store, but it's just cauliflower, carrots, and broccoli, and then just mushrooms, canned mushrooms, that is. That's the type of mushrooms that they use there as well. So I'm gonna throw some white onions on here. Yeah, white onions. I don't think I'm gonna do yellow onion. So white onion. So I'm gonna get that popped in the oven. But I also want to show you like the other ingredients that I have going here for it. I don't have coconut milk because I don't buy store-bought plant milk. So I'm going to make my own milk with, and hopefully you can see that. I'm going to be making my own milk with these ingredients. So I have this shredded coconut, and then I'm going to use a half a cup of almonds with spring water. And then I have some jasmine brown rice here. And then I have this organic green curry paste that I'm going to make my sauce with. All I'm going to do with the tofu is I'm going to sear it in the pan. Then I will make the sauce, and the sauce will be on the side, and the sauce will be drizzled over the rice and everything. So I want to show you my milk maker real quick. I bought this milk maker from Amazon. Would I recommend it? I'm not sure, because sometimes some of these lights don't work, but I know which one is for the nut milk. But I'm gonna get it going in here so you can see kind of how that looks. Let's see. We have our almonds, and then I'm going to do 1 tablespoon of coconut. And this is the brand of coconuts if you didn't see it. Let me get the water. So we're gonna fill the water up probably to the 1,000 mLs. And the way the almonds are usually measured is in grams. I already know as far as the cup what I need. So we have the water in there, and this is spring water. Hopefully this cooperates for me, because sometimes it does its own thing. So what you want to do is, because it already has the presets, so it's on juice now. Then I think it's on soy. It's on the soy now. And I usually do it on nut milk. No, it's on soy milk now, I believe. Let me cancel. That's soy. And that's the nut milk. That's what I have to look at. It sometimes is off. So would I recommend this one? I'm not sure that I would. I got this from Amazon a while ago. I know it usually goes for like 11 minutes, I believe. No, it's 9 minutes. Let me just, sorry guys. It's always so confusing. There's the nut milk at 9. Okay, I'm gonna start it. That's pretty much how it goes. So once it starts going, it'll start heating up the water in there, making the milk. I usually pour it in here and I have my nut bag going in there. And then once it's done, I put it in this little carafe and keep it in the refrigerator for about maybe 5 days at the most that I use it. Maybe we're having a malfunction today. Okay, there it is. It'll start now. Okay guys, I finally got I was doing it wrong. So it is now going to be, there's the juice, there's soy milk, there's nut milk. Let's start it. And that is how it works. Okay, so I finally got my nuts. I finally got the onions. I finally have the onions down, and I'm gonna throw this into the oven and get it roasted up. I should probably switch the pan because it looks a little crowded now, but I'm still gonna go ahead and use it. Actually, I'm not. I'm gonna switch the pan out. It's too crowded. It's not gonna roast well. It's gonna more so steam them, and we don't want that, so I'm gonna switch the pan out. Yeah, we'll go ahead and get the pan switched out. I just need to spray the other pan. So the key to some good roasted vegetables is don't crowd your pan, because if you do, it's not going to come out well. And basically, you don't have to put seasonings on here. I did put garlic powder and garlic salt down. So that's so much better to get the vegetables roasted. So there you have it. Make sure you separate them out. So let me grab a paper towel. So I'm going to go ahead and continue to build this bowl. I really wanted this bowl yesterday from the ChopShop, but I was like, no, I have the ingredients already in my kitchen. I need to make it. And I did not go. I was like, you need to be a good steward and cook what you have. So that is what I'm doing today in creating this bowl. I hope it turns out amazing. The only difference in the bowl, they use white jasmine rice and I'm using brown jasmine rice. So I'm gonna go ahead and start finishing this and get the water ready for the rice on the stove and let that milk finish going because it's really loud. So I'll see you back in a little bit. Okay, our milk has finished after that long 9 minutes. I'm going to get this unplugged. This is basically what it looks like. I've never done this particular one with the coconut, but I'm interested to see. I don't really drink milk. The only time I use it is if I'm cooking. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this going down in here. As you can see, I usually do 1,000 mils with the milk. That's why I could eyeball it and know that it would fit in here. Sometimes I do 1,200 mils. And hopefully I don't make a mess here. So I would highly recommend getting a milk maker, especially if you don't drink or use the milk fast enough. And when I say this nut milk bag gets all of the pulp from the nuts out, it does exactly what it needs to do. And I'm sure you can repurpose the nuts for something else in a recipe. I just don't. Maybe I'll look it up or think about something I could use. But that's pretty much the milk. Give my hands a quick rinse. And then we're gonna get this in here. You could also put in a date if you want to. I just don't particularly like sweet milk. If I should need to sweeten the sauce that I'm doing, I will put a date in then. Doesn't smell like anything. I don't even know that I will taste it. As I said, I'm just using this to cook with. So there is your nut milk. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this in the refrigerator. And for this recipe, I have tofu left over because I did a tofu scramble last week. I usually preserve my tofu in this water here. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually put it in the tofu press to try and release some of that water. You don't have to have a tofu press. You could press it in between 2 paper towels and just use a weight. This is an extra firm, high protein tofu that I buy. You can usually get it at any of the specialty grocery stores. I think I may have gotten this one. Maybe I actually got it at Target or Sprouts, or I did go to Whole Foods a few weeks ago. So here is the little tofu press. It will drip the water down and then I'll come back and cut it in cubes to start searing it. You can find the nut milk maker and the tofu press will be linked in my Amazon storefront if you should be interested in wanting to purchase those. The Amazon storefront link is going to be in my bio, and I will try to remember to link it in the description. So I'm gonna go ahead and let that sit, and then I'm gonna cut it up. The water is starting to boil now for the rice, and then we will start cooking. So I will see you all in a moment. I am going to be making a almond cheese spread with the leftover almond pulp from the almond milk because I would like to be a good steward and not throw things away. So I have some whole flaxseed here. It's about a half a cup. I'm gonna put it through this grinder here. It's a coffee grinder, if you're wondering. I bought it years ago. I actually never used it for coffee beans, really. So I am going to grind this in here and get it in here to make flaxseed crackers. I'll probably throw in some, I'm gonna throw in some nothing bagel seasoning, everything bagel, I'm sorry. Let's get this going. Since I already have the oven hot from the roasted vegetables, I'm gonna go ahead and get this in the oven. Because guess what? We're being a good steward, right? The oven's hot, so why waste that electricity when you can make something else as well? I feel like I probably need a cup, maybe. Let's do a cup. Because I'm gonna put it maybe just a little bit of a cup. I don't have a lot of flax seeds left. And I might actually throw in a little bit of, no chia seeds. Let me put that in there. Yeah, I'll throw in a little bit of chia seeds. Just a little bit. Okay, there is the chia seeds. That looks perfect. So we have that in there. I could have put these in the dehydrator to make them, but since the oven's on, why run the dehydrator for hours at a time to make those crackers? So we have that there. I'm actually going to get the measuring cup so we can put some water in there. I'm going to use half a cup of water. It's a little bit over a half. So we will get this water in here. I feel like we might, well, no, I think that's enough water. Because we're gonna let it sit and then I'm gonna get it on the parchment paper and then spread it out and get it in the oven. I feel like we need a little bit more water, even though I don't want it to be too loose because we are making crackers here. I think that's perfect. I probably should have used my, what do you call that, a beater or, oh, a whisk. So that is forming into a nice gel. Not really gel, but a consistency to be able to put it in the oven. And keep in mind, I've never made these. This is on the fly right now. I was like, let me look up a recipe and see if I can do this. Even though I wanted to give them a little bit of a Mexican flair, because with that almond pulp, we're gonna use a chipotle smoky nutritional yeast there to have that with. So we aren't being wasteful. We're being good stewards over the things we have and not throwing things away. So I'm gonna let that sit and then I will get it in the oven, okay? Okay, it has been about 20 minutes later. I'm gonna go ahead and get this down. And on here, wish me luck. I have never made these, so hopefully it turns out well and I did not waste some ingredients, because once again, we are being good stewards. And we want to get this spread really, really thin. So I am going to grab another piece of parchment paper. We're going to do that, and then let's spread it out. I will say that sometimes baking is not my strong area when it comes to the kitchen, but I will attempt it. Oh, I don't know. Hopefully this isn't too bad. Okay, it's not too bad. Yeah, we still have some on this paper, but it will be okay. Gonna just try and spread just a little bit of this off. Okay, I think those will be pretty thin enough with that spreading and using the rolling pin. Maybe I should have used, what do you call that? Wax, saran wrap. So these look pretty decent. I have the oven setting on 300 now. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this in there, and then we'll just break them up. I'm not even gonna score them. So I'm gonna get this in the oven. Okay, that's in the oven. I'm gonna start getting the tofu ready. I am getting ready to prepare the ingredients for the leftover almond pulp. We're gonna make a cheese spread. I have a half a teaspoon of the onion powder there. I'm gonna do a half a teaspoon of chili powder. And then I'll do a half a teaspoon of, of the paprika. I don't know why I was trying to take the top off on this. Well, that's probably why. Let's see if I can get it open. There we go. So we'll do the paprika, and then for the garlic powder, since we already have a garlic clove we're gonna put in, I'm only gonna do a half a teaspoon on the garlic powder. And I think I'll do the same thing on the garlic salt. Only reason I'm not just gonna use regular salt is because just to give it another layer of flavor with having the garlic flavor. And then should we need more, we will add it, but we don't want it to be too salty. And then for the nutritional yeast, I'm gonna use the Kelly Smoky Chipotle cheesy Parmesan here. I'm actually gonna do a half of a tablespoon on this. Actually, I'm gonna do 2. So we have that there. I got a feeling I might need more of this. And then we'll leave that there. You have the garlic clove. And then I'm gonna add in maybe like 1 to 2 teaspoons of lemon juice for that spread. We may add just a little bit of that almond milk that we made with the coconut. Get that on. I'm actually grab that just in case. So here is the almond pulp from the milk we made. So I'm gonna get this down in the processor. So we have that in. Let me grab a spatula real quick. Yeah. Let me just grab it in here. Okay, so I have my spatula. We're putting this almond pulp in there. I'll go ahead and put in the garlic clove, and then I'm gonna go in with like, I just did 1 squirt of this lemon juice, so I think that's plenty for that. If I have fresh lemons, I would use that, but I don't. And actually, let me check the tofu because it is going in the background. It is still searing up nicely. I actually sprayed the pan with cooking spray. So as you can see, they are coloring nicely. I sprinkled on a little bit of onion powder, garlic powder. That is totally optional. You do not have to do that because the bowl I normally get, the tofu is not seasoned. It's just basically browned, or they put it on a grill, I think, because I think those are grill marks that I see on there. So have that down. This looks good, smells good. I'm a big fan of tofu, so that is coloring nicely. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off and just let it sit. So back to our almond cheese spread sauce we're making. So I have the powder in there. I'm gonna go ahead and put the seasonings down in here. Get that out of the way. I have a feeling we may add a little more nutritional yeast, so I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit of this in there. And get the lid on there. So we have that on, so we're gonna go ahead and blend it together. Google, stop. That's my timer for the crackers, guys. Let me check them. I feel like the crackers have come out nicely. I didn't think until the end to sprinkle on some nothing. I don't know why I call it nothing. Everything but bagel seasoning. I feel like I need to leave them in just a little longer, maybe about 10 more minutes. And they're actually cooking on 325. Hey Google, set a 10-minute timer. So let's go ahead and see what this looks like. I think we need to pulse it just a little more because I can see the garlic clove is still there. Get those ingredients down here. I may want to add I'm not going to add any more milk yet. Let that sit. Okay, let's see what type of consistency we have here. Smells good. Let's give it a little quick taste. Jesus whip. Not too bad. I think it needs a little more salt. I do not care for the lemon juice flavor in there, but that my garlic clove is not getting to what it needs to do. I might have to put it in my other little cup, but we will see. I'm gonna add just a tad more of the milk. I'm gonna put in some more nutritional yeast. And for the salt, I'm just gonna use the sea salt. Since we are making a spread, right? We definitely don't need more lemon juice, so I'm going to put this back. And let's see what we have here. Looks pretty good, right? Not bad. I think I put too much lemon juice in here, and I still think it needs a little more salt. Other than that, it tastes really good. Once I get it in the refrigerator, I'm sure it will stiffen up for the crackers. I feel like I might even throw in some chives, since I have some dried chives. Of that. And then I don't think I'm gonna go in with more salt. I think I would do the garlic salt. And that could just be my palate. So we have that there. I think I'll add a little more paprika. And then a little more of the onion powder. So let's get that on there. Okay, I think that is perfect. So we have an almond cheese spread. I really need to invest in a new food processor, but guess what? This one works. It doesn't blend the way I always like for it to blend, but it works, right? We don't need to spend unnecessary money if we don't have to. So that looks pretty decent, guys. This is what the consistency looks like. So once I get it in the refrigerator and it has time to chill. Oh yeah. Adding more seasonings to that, it tastes so much better. And hopefully this bowl is big enough. One thing is, we weren't wasteful with the almond pulp that we had left. And you can't even taste the coconut in here because I don't use sweetened coconut flakes. Yeah, I think we're gonna need a bigger one, so. Let's see. Okay, I have a bigger one. a bigger container here. Oops. Perfect. How are you? Do you guys use your pulp from, if you make almond milk or something, let's say you juice carrots, do you use your carrots for something else? Do you use the pulp from juices another way? So I think this looks amazing and it tastes good. It has that little kick from the chipotle there. So there we go. Being a good steward. We should call this stewardship spread. So I am going to get this in the refrigerator and let it chill. And then I will check the crackers after they're done. Okay, the flaxseed crackers are done. Can we have a moment? So little pieces that are in the middle maybe, but so far I am happy. Not sure if I need to go back in the oven. Granted, we have those small pieces. I literally just took this out the oven. So I may want to, I think the middle part may have been a little thicker. I feel like this part over here, like you see where that, so that, I think I'm gonna put that piece back in the oven. Or maybe that piece. Yeah, I'm gonna put these pieces back, but the oven's off, so I'm just gonna let it sit in there a little longer just to get those little pieces that are still a little, seem like they're a little moist, but let's see what we think. You all seen it here first, so let's see. You hear the crunch? Not bad. I can taste the seaweed. I would eat it. Okay, that's the crackers. Okay guys, I'm about to start the sauce for the green curry. I want to let you know the crackers did finish. So amazing. I'm actually going to do a separate video for those just in case somebody is wanting to see, but actually no, it'll just all be in this video. It'll just be a little special nugget if you watch the video right all the way through. So these turned out pretty decent. I was done with those. So with the green curry, I am going to pour the milk in there. So this has been setting in for about an hour now. Looks pretty good, right? So, Lord, thank you for this meal we're about to receive. We pray that we nourishment to our bodies. Please touch the hands I have prepared it, Lord. We pray and ask that you would touch those that's forcing it. These and all blessings we ask in your darling son, Jesus' name, amen. Okay, let's give it a little quick try because you already saw earlier how the crackers crunched, right? Like, I don't know if you can see. That's really good. Like the spread, if I were having a party right now, I would make this spread. Like I would purposely take some almonds and blend them up if I needed to. But since they were already from the milker, this is so good. I think I'm gonna do a separate recipe, a separate video for this. I don't know if it's the chipotle, but you could always use regular nutritional yeast and get chipotle seasoning if you can't find that. If you can't find that particular nutritional yeast. So I'm gonna have one more. That's how good it is. Like, I don't know if it's the spice or what, or maybe it's the fat from the almonds. So good. And I don't want to double dip because I think I'm going to take my mom some of this. So good. Okay. Let's get this sauce going. I probably should have turned that down because I do not want that to scald and burn the milk and it starts to stick. So we have the milk down. This is the particular green curry paste. It smells so good, but I love anything curry. It doesn't matter if it's red, green, or yellow. I love it. So I have that down. And we just want to whisk that in. It smells so good. So, so good. Like I say, I love curry, but I love like a little, not so much savory, but more on the sweeter side for curry. So since I don't have coconut milk, I am going to probably put a date in there, or maybe I will add just a little maple syrup. So I could always do dates to have that texture and just chop it up. I need to get a spoon to try it, like the flavor. I can smell it, but I know the flavor I'm looking for. Oh, that is amazing. So I'll put just a little more in there. I don't really want to use cornstarch to thicken this, but I may just put a tiny bit in there. And I'm actually going to put this in the refrigerator. I bought this, if you are in the Texas area and you watch me, I bought this at Central Market. So I am going to start my tea kettle because I'm going to add just a little bit to thicken. Okay, I have that going. So this is like, I may add just a hint of maple syrup. I don't know, maybe I should use agave. I think the maple syrup may be too sweet. We are done with our milk. And as you see how much milk I have left from the 2 recipes. And the 1 recipe wasn't even planned. That is how you steward when you're in the kitchen. I have that, so actually I'm not going to, guys, like I said, shopping my kitchen. So I'm gonna use this golden coconut sugar to give it a little sweet. So I don't have to use the other items. And it's low on the glycemic index if you are concerned with that. It's unrefined, you see? That's all I'm gonna put in. That is 1 teaspoon. And then we will use a little bit of cornstarch. So I'm actually going to let you see. Grab another spoon. This is, it's not thick, right? So that's why we're gonna use the cornstarch. So Let me grab a cup for our cornstarch. Actually, so you're able to see. I am going to put some cornstarch down in here. I could also use coconut flour, and this is actually 1 teaspoon as well. I don't think we need any more than that. I did not fill it up on the first little scoop. So that's our cornstarch. Turn that down so it doesn't start to stick. This is going to be perfect. I cannot wait for y'all to see this bowl that I normally get there. And I actually may even put a little cilantro over there once I plate it, because they do put a little cilantro on there. Once they do this sauce, they sprinkle on a few little pieces. And I think my water is probably hot enough. So we have our hot water. We are going to thicken this, get this cornstarch down. So the cornstarch. It's funny, I mentioned this in another video about cornstarch, so now you actually get to see it. So the cornstarch is ready, dissolved. We'll add in a little bit here just for the thickness. And I think that might be perfect. I don't even think we need the whole thing, because it's already starting to thicken, I feel like. Have my skillet on low. This looks so amazing, guys. So amazing. And guess what? When I went to this restaurant, this was my first time having green curry. Oh yeah, that is so nice. Not too thick. I actually need to give it a try, because remember I put in the coconut sugar? And I'll be honest with you, I don't usually always try things as I cook. So this was my tasting spoon. It's actually really hot, but so good. I can taste like, maybe I guess in curries they use like maybe a lemongrass, because I taste lemongrass. I feel like it needs a little more of the coconut sugar. So we will add just a little bit more of that. That's under, probably, I would say maybe a tablespoon we're putting in. Set that there. Yeah, that looks so pretty. Okay, so let's give this another try. We'll turn that off. Let's see here. Look at that. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah. So good. We need nothing else. It is definitely doing what it needs to do without me going to the ChopShop. This is the cornstarch brand that I use. I don't think there's any other brands. I don't know. I've always bought this brand. So I think I'll go ahead and build the bowl while we are here and we can try it. And then I will show you all, hopefully I can drop the clip in here from my pictures from when I went. It is actually 12:45 right now. So I made this early because I knew I needed to turn on the oven, and it is fairly hot in Texas right now. So since everything is done and it's here on the stove, this is the rice. So let's get our rice in. I'm not gonna do that much rice. Like I say, I'm not gonna do too much because I don't want to eat a big meal right now. So there's the rice. We will go in with like 1 or 2 of the tofu bites. We'll do 2 on the rice. Well, actually, let's do 3 there. We have that there. And then we will spoon on some of that mixture. This is actually, I'm gonna drop this video today. It is Tuesday, July 21st. So we have our vegetables down, and I need to, yeah, we have our vegetables down. No, I don't need anything else. I was gonna do the cilantro, but I actually have some dried cilantro. I have some fresh cilantro too. So that's down, I'll set that there. And yes, I have dried cilantro. So this is basically what it looks like. It could be a fuller bowl, but we're not gonna do that right now. The sauce is perfect. Especially with everything together, just to see, is this duplicating the bowl that I usually go spend $25 on? Let's put a little, we have the dried cilantro. Okay, we have already said grace. So let's see. Make sure you can see. You see that? Okay, let's give it a try. It's good. Only thing I'll say is they don't cook their tofu as long as I did. Or they may cook them a different way, but this is definitely the bowl. This is definitely the bowl. Not saying I won't ever go to the ChopShop again, but oh yeah. If you wanted this recipe to go faster, you could always buy pre-cooked jasmine rice, and you could always have your own plant milk bought from the store. You could have a coconut milk, but this turned out amazing. I'm highly impressed. highly. When I go to this place, this is how I'm eating this. So good. With that being said, guys, please like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next stewardship challenge video. I was actually going to end the series yesterday, but I'm not. I'm going to keep going because God said keep going. So I'm going to get this stuff up. It's hot in my kitchen right now from the oven. So I will get that going. I'm going to clean all this up. And I thank you all for watching. And the recipe will be in the description. And I will see you all then. Bye. In the next video.